a FO parade finished object and some FFOs. So this is the second floss tube with my mom, Bridget. Oops, sorry, I think I bumped my mic. And we're gonna look at a bunch of her finished cross stitch that she's done over the years.
Yeah, over many years. Many years. You don't really want to, I don't want to tell you how many years. Yeah.
And then we're gonna talk about what we're going to be stitching for next time.
Yeah.
So you wanna kick us off?
Sure. How far back do you want to go? Want to go like, should we start from like the way back?
The way back
in
time?
the way back in the before time.
The before time.
Before the internet. Yeah, before COVID.
The internet. Oh.
Before the internet.
Was I alive then?
Yes.
All right.
Dork. Yeah. No. I bought you on Amazon. Yeah. So anyway, she wanted me to show you some of my finished stuff, and in the last video, I did show you a couple of finished pictures that I had given to my mom. And those were from, I want to say 1987, 88, 89. These were, oh gosh, now I gotta remember what year. So these were either late 80s or early 90s. And this is actually the second one in the series. This is called The Little Boy with the Airplane. And I framed this myself. I bought the frames. In fact, the frames still have the price tag on the back.
Oh,
they
wow.
do, yep. And I framed them myself. Let me see how I can make that a little prettier. How's that?
Yeah, that looks nice.
And this took me 18 months to make. I remember that because I actually tracked how long it took me to make these pictures. People always ask you, how long does it take you to do this?
They do.
And you know, it's like, I don't know, I gotta guesstimate.
What is this on the back here?
On the back, oh, that's just where I taped the, this is the thing that was hanging on the wall with.
Oh.
These were in my office at work, and we're moving our offices, so I brought them home. And I thought, oh, good timing. And then this is the girl. This is the first one. And I found this pattern. I had a subscription to Counted Cross Stitch magazine. I also had a subscription to Just Cross Stitch. But this is called A Little Girl with a Tea Party. And I have not been able to find these patterns anywhere anymore. But you know, these are really super old, like late 80s, early 90s. But they are a match set.
You can put them over here.
And they're just, I loved them. I love doing them. The face was all quarter stitch. Quarter stitch, 3/4 stitch, blended, which means you use one thread of one color, one thread of another color. They are on, does that look like 6? That looks like 18.
18
They're on 18 count,
yeah.
ivory Aida, and doing quarter stitches and 3/4 stitches and blended quarter stitches on 18 count ivory Aida for the girl's face. I could not do that today. I can tell you right now, there's no way. This is back when I could see. Let me just see. Yeah, if you look at like the nose and the cheeks, some parts of the cheek is over one count, over one stitch. I mean, they were intricate.
Oh wow.
They were intricate, yeah. So that's why I went ahead and framed them, and I've had them on my wall in my office, and I get a lot of comments on them because some people notice them and some people don't, but they're portrait quality. And this would be, kind of heirloom quality. I think I may get them professionally cleaned, professionally framed again.
Yeah, they're looking a little like they're starting to yellow.
And date them this time. I'm so bad. I used to not ever sign and date anything. I didn't want to ruin the look of the picture. But now I've learned I can tuck my initials into the corner, tuck the date into a little corner, make it a little less obvious, less obtrusive if you want. So I'll show you another batch. So once upon a time, before, let's see.
The before time.
No, this is internet. But
oh, okay, this is the internet time.
These also came out of old cross stitch magazines. So this is one that I was making for my kitchen. And we redid my kitchen in 2017. Before we redid my kitchen, it was all going to be herbs. So these are all herb pictures.
It says bay leaf, herbs, elderberry, fennel, ginger mint. Okay, so it's like the names of
all the herbs. Yep. Oh, I think if you bring it back further, they could. Yeah, there you go. You can kind of see the whole thing. And I always taped up the edges in those days. That was before I learned that you could just use pinking shears and it won't fray. So I would tape up any edges. And then this one is the called the Garden Angel. And so she's got like little beehive over here, and
her wings are like quilted.
Her wings are quilted.
Oh, that's
yeah,
cute. I like
it's
that.
very country looking. And my kitchen doesn't look like that anymore, so I can't put these in my kitchen.
Yeah.
They may end up getting framed and going to other family members. Beware.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this one. Oh, here. This one actually. Oh, this one. It's dated 01. So I know I made this one in 2001. And this again was going into the kitchen, and it's called the pantry. And so it's got little, stuff in it that you put in your pantry.
Shelves.
Yeah.
Who has a window in their pantry? That would be nice.
I used to have a window in my pantry when I lived in New England.
Really?
Yeah. I had a marble countertop too. It was great for baking pies and bread. And this is another old pattern. It says, "We plow the field and scatter the good seed on the land, but is fed and watered by the goddess's hand." It used to say God's hand. I had to change it. She sends the snow in winter, the warmth to swell the grain, the breezes and the sunshine, and soft refreshing rain. This one may end up going in my house.
Yeah, that's nice. That would still go.
Yeah, this would still work.
It's very minimalist.
It's countrified. Yeah, I like it.
I like that one.
It's like early American. Early American.
Yeah. Okay.
And this one I brought, this was one of my favorites ones, that it just says herbs, and it's like all of the little different herbs on it.
To hold it?
Yeah. So the neat thing about this one is that it's all beaded. In every corner, there's a bead. There's beads all through the top. If you just bring the top maybe closer to the camera, and they can see the whole top.
Oh yeah, you can see it now.
Yeah, this is all beaded here.
Oh, that's really shows up really nice in the light.
And it was beautiful, and it was fun to do too. It was the first project I had done beading on, and I think I have my date and sign on the bottom. When we get to the bottom, I'll see what year that was. Oh, that was even before I got remarried. So yeah, 2003.
Wow, that's nice.
And I still haven't
remember
framed it.
seeing this one.
I still haven't framed it.
I thought I remembered seeing this one.
Yeah.
Needs to be washed.
I'm bad about finishing them. I really,
Framing?
really
Yeah,
am.
me too.
I keep them for 20, 30 years and I forget to frame them. And this one is a Santa. I do love my Santas. So this is a Woodland Santa, and he's got all of the woodland creatures. You're probably seeing a theme here.
Yeah, this one looks familiar though.
This is recent. This is recent. This one is, I want to say, 2019.
Do you remember the name of the pattern or the designer?
It's Woodland Santa.
Oh, it's called Woodland Santa.
I
Okay.
don't. It's in one of my cross-stitch magazines.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. I had a subscription to 3 or 4 different cross-stitch magazines for like 20 years. And then I stopped the subscription, and I have the magazines. So when I get bored, sometimes I'll just flip through the magazines and go, oh, I remember this pattern. Yeah. And I have like all these little tabs sticking out at the top, like patterns I wanted to make. When I got the magazine, I flipped through it, I would put a tab where I wanted to make a pattern. And then eventually I'd go back and make it. So I've got 20 years worth of magazines with tabs sticking up.
Okay. I mean, whatever works, right?
It could happen, I don't know. But I wanted to show you like some other things because I ran out of wall space like ages ago. So I started trying to do waste canvas on t-shirts, and I thought these would be fun to bring in and show you. So this is one of the first ones I tried. And this is a good indication of why you don't stitch on a shirt with a pocket.
Oh, a pocket, yeah.
So check out here. You want to hold this side?
There's a little something here. We got.
You hold one side. I'll hold the other. And it says, "Mother, enchantment of life. She gives us wings, guides us with hope, and believes in our dreams." And so I made it for myself. And yeah, you have to stitch over the pocket. Not a great idea. It just looks funny. It doesn't lay right. I never gave it away to anybody because of that reason.
Because the pocket.
Yeah. But the way you do this is you get waste canvas and then you stitch the waist canvas onto the shirt.
Baste
you
it.
baste it onto the shirt, and then when you're done with the stitching, you can pull the waist canvas out thread by thread. Now they also have soluble canvas. Have not tried that yet. That's next on my list.
Yes, yes.
We'll be making some of those, I'm sure. And then here's another one that I did.
Wow.
This is kind of like a full coverage on a t-shirt
Jeez,
piece.
Yeah, that's a lot of stitching. Here, you want me to hold this side?
This one, yeah. And everybody always asks, how many hours was it? Blah, blah. That one's like 120 hours for that piece. I don't remember the name of that one. But you can put them on t-shirts. And surprisingly enough, the cross stitch lasts a whole lot longer than the shirt does.
So there's nothing.
Nothing.
There's nothing inside, just
Nope.
the stitches. And these are years and years old.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't wear them every day.
No, no.
I mean, this is Halloween, right? You might wear this 1 month out of the year. But
that one was definitely made for the month of October. This one.
But it's just DMC cotton floss, right?
Right.
There's no metallics. There's no specialty threads. So it's soft against your skin.
Yep.
It's not gonna like.
And the
make you
funky
itch.
thing is when you put this through the wash and you put it through the dryer, right?
Cotton
It gets
shrinks.
clean and it tightens up. So the stitches actually tighten up. So you don't have to worry about, oh, is my stitching gonna come out? Or the only thing you gotta worry about is, am I gonna get spaghetti sauce on my stitches?
Right.
I mean, and it actually came out when I got spaghetti sauce on my...
No, you?
Oh yeah, I'm such a slob. I got spaghetti sauce all over the moon, and I was very upset because I was like, oh my God, what if it doesn't come out? And then of course it did, and I was so happy because it had already gone through the dryer by then. By the time I remembered to go check. Yeah, but it came out, so I was happy. But I mean, it just goes to show that, I mean, the floss is heavier duty than the shirt. And this one is really good proof of that. So this is one that I made. And I was so silly because it's a dragon with a cave. And I even cross-stitched the cave, wrong side. So this is all black thread. I didn't have to cross-stitch the cave. But I did. I cross-stitched the cave, so that was kind of foolish. But if you notice,
you did black outline over the flame too.
Yes, I did black outline around the flame, which I probably didn't have to do. But in those days, I did everything the way the picture said. I didn't really think about, oh, I could change it. You know, this shirt is so old, and I've worn it so many times. Yeah, and it's 50-50, and I don't know if you can tell.
50 cotton, 50
polyester. I don't know if you can tell, but the shirt has faded.
Yeah.
Because it used to be the same color as the black floss. The shirt faded in the wash, the floss did not. So if you're worried about doing cross stitch on shirts, you don't have to. I have a shirt that I made that the shirt was not very good quality, and that's the only tip that I would give you. Make sure you buy a good quality shirt, because you don't want to put 150 hours, which is what this one was, 150 hours worth of work into a shirt, and then it gets a hole in it.
It falls apart.
I have a shirt that's white.
Oh, you didn't bring that one.
I didn't bring it because it's cut up. I had a shirt that was white, and I did a toucan on the front, and it was beautiful, bright colors, looked great, and I wore it, and I washed it, and I wore it, and I washed it, and you know, I had it for a few years, and it developed like a little hole around the seams.
Yeah, the collar.
I got all these little holes in the shirt. The cross stitch was still perfect and nice, bright, stayed bright, so I cut it out. And it's going to be either framed, or it's going to be a quilt, or it's going to be something. But I ditched the rest of the shirt, and I just kept the cross-stitch part. Yeah, because it survived. So, and these make great gifts. I cross-stitched dinosaur shirts for my nephews when they were
with the glow
little.
in the dark thread. So like when you turned out the light, you only saw the skeleton of the dinosaur, that was really cool. I liked those.
That was a lot of fun. But then I've got a more recent, and this one is, I did a Christmas card. This is the one that, wrong way, there we go. So this is Santa again. And this is from the Donna Cooler 555 Christmas Cross Stitch Designs book. And this one I remember because I just made it last year. So, you know, I haven't had time to forget yet. And this is on perforated paper. So it's just perforated paper, you cross stitch it, you cut the design out, and on this particular one, I put it on top of the cardstock. and then put the cardstock on top of another card, and and then I put a little ribbon on the bottom because, Christmas. But I liked it because it kind of symbolizes Christmas in Florida.
Right.
Santa's here after Christmas. He comes here on vacations. And I thought, when people were done, I made a whole bunch of Christmas cards last year rather, and send them out. And I thought when people were done, they could just put a little hole in the top, put a little ribbon on it, and make it into an ornament.
You know what I was thinking you could do? So if you pre-punch the hole in the top, right?
Yeah.
And then along the seam, you run the perforator, so that after you're done with the card, it's really easy. You just take off the extra, and then you've got the hole already, and you can tie or pre-tie a ribbon in it.
Yeah. Well, I thought about pre-tying a ribbon in it, but it's I didn't have to mail yours.
Yeah.
But I had to mail other people's.
Yeah.
And when you put the ribbon in and you put that knot in,
oh yeah,
it interferes in the post office.
You could pre-punch the hole.
Yeah, I could have pre-punched the hole.
And then perforate the edge. And then it's just tear away. You tear it away, and you've got a little ornament from your card. So that could work. Yeah, but this guy's on my fridge. This is my card. This guy's been on my fridge all year. So this Christmas, I'm going to do that. I'm going to punch a hole and then trim away the end, and then I'll have a little ornament.
Mm-hmm. And I sent, I made dozens. But that's the only one I did on the perforated paper. The other ones I all did on just scraps of Aida cloth or scraps of other cloth.
Yeah, that's a really good use, because I end up with a lot of itty bitty little pieces of fabric that are 2x2 or 3x3. That's a great thing to do. And then the 500 you could get, and there's a ton of cross stitch books that have 1,000 or more motifs or 500 motifs or whatever, and you can put one of those on it. It'd take you 2-3 hours to stitch.
Right.
Stick it on a card, and you're good.
And the people that get those cards, I got so many compliments on those cards. And I can guarantee nobody threw them away at the end of Christmas. No. They're telling me that they have them on their fridge, or they made them into an ornament, or they saved them in some other way. And they weren't a lot of work, and it used up a lot of scraps. It used up a lot of red and green, so I had to go buy more red.
Yeah. You can get the red cone of doom.
I might have to get a cone of doom.
Yeah.
I was thinking about a black. I use a lot of black.
That's the cone of doom. The witchy stitcher. They call it the cone of doom.
You have two of
the
those,
310.
don't you?
I have black and white.
Where are they?
They're in the drawer.
Oh, you should show them.
Yeah. Well,
you're tied.
Yeah, I'm tied in with them.
I know, but it's the cone. They sell the DMC floss on a cone.
Yeah.
For the diehard people like us that might actually go through it in our lifetime.
I might. I don't know. The black for sure. The white probably not so much. I probably shouldn't have bought the white, but
probably not. Well, all of the small cross stitch. I guess you call them smalls, right? Cross stitch smalls. Yeah, those are all coming. Those all came out of Donna Cooler's book, because she's got, like she says, 555 designs. And what I did was I would just look at the piece and say, okay, I need ½ inch on each side, ½ inch top and bottom. How many stitches is that? And then I would just go look in the book and see which patterns would fit in that particular size.
Yeah, that's a little easier than finding a pattern and being like, okay, well, which piece of fabric will fit? Yeah,
and I knew I was going to make a bunch of them, and I made a bunch of little moons that have a Santa face. So the face is the bottom of the moon, and the Santa hat's the top arch of the moon. They're like the sliver moon.
Yeah, it's a
crescent.
Crescent moon.
Yeah, they're the crescent, and so I found that pattern and I liked it. So I made 6 of them. But don't tell the people that got them that
they got duplicates.
Yeah, they got duplicates. I didn't make each one unique. I got into a production mode where I would do all of the hats. So I did all the red, and then I went and did all the beards. And it got to be really fast, because I was sitting there binging Netflix or watching Tim Allen's the Santa Claus. I like that. Yeah, I have the trilogy. In fact, I bought one and Riken bought me once, and I have 2.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But I will sit there and binge watch those 3 movies in a row on the weekend and just stitch through the whole thing. Because I've seen them so many times, it's okay. I don't have to look at it.
Yeah, you can listen to a movie you've watched a million times and sort of imagine the movie in your mind as you stitch.
Right.
I do that.
Right. I do that too. Most of the time, whatever I'm watching when I'm stitching, I usually have to go rewatch it later because I'm looking down. Or I'll have to rewind.
I like to watch stuff I've already seen a million times while I'm stitching. Or I'll just listen to an audiobook instead.
Yeah, otherwise I have to rewind. wow, it sounded important.
Oh, yeah.
Rewind.
What was that thing?
What did I miss?
Well, now they have the 10-second.
I know. That's
really
so
nice.
cool. That's so cool. I use that a lot. Because it'll big explosion and you're like, oh my God, something happened. And I was stitching. I was looking down.
Yeah.
But getting in the production mode of doing the same pattern, the same little pattern over and over.
You start to get really efficient.
Yeah, and you don't have to frog as much.
Right.
You know, and when it's just going on a card, if you're off by one stitch in the beard or whatever, nobody's going to even notice. You don't have to even bother. Just you know, fix it however.
Stitch around it.
Yeah, leave it. Doesn't matter. Who cares? You know.
Nobody cares.
They're going to love it. They love it anyway.
Yeah.
Because they really appreciate the effort that went into it. You know, even people that don't stitch will recognize.
And it's super cheap to send through the mail.
Yeah.
Because it's still paper, so you can just do what, a regular stamp or two?
I think they come out to be, well, 51 cents this year is your regular stamp. I think some of them came out to be like 65 cents.
Okay.
And the only thing that I would say is if you put any embellishments on the front of the card.
Oh, like the ribbon?
Like the ribbon, or if you put a little dot of glitter, like they have the little raised embellishments. I put that on some of the cards. You're gonna want to put a piece of paper.
Yeah, cover.
Right.
When you mail it.
Right. You can also write on the envelope, please hand stamp.
But
sometimes they pay attention to that. To be honest, sometimes they don't.
Not always.
No.
This is the U.S. mail. We're talking about the U.S. mail.
Yeah.
U.S. Postal Service.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely if you have cardstock and you want to protect the front, take another piece of cardstock and just put it over the front and then put it in the envelope that way. And then flip it so that the pattern is on the back of the envelope. So they're not going through the machine over your pattern. And I think it will definitely get through the mail safer that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I learned those tips from my mom because she makes cards.
Does this, yeah. My grandma does the paper crafts. So.
Yeah, so I took the cross stitch and just added it to the card making and put the two together.
Boom.
And yeah, everybody's happy. Loved it.
So is that it for the whip parade? I mean the FO parade?
That's it for the FFO.
The FFO. Well, these are so FO is finished object and FFO is fully finished object.
So I've got both.
And FFO is like you hang
framed.
it up on the wall or the t-shirt, you're ready to put it on, right? But an FO is like these where you're done stitching, but you're not sure what you're going to do with it.
Yeah.
So is that it for the FOs and the FFOs?
Yep. But you know what? You know why I remember now why I brought this one.
Oh.
So if you don't tape your edges, if you don't use pinking shears on your edges,
or
if you don't fold them and baste your edges, this is what you get. Frayed edges.
That actually looks kind of nice.
All the way around. Now this is a way you could finish a piece.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of pieces that I made, bookmarks especially, where I'll make a bookmark and I will just leave the edge like this, frayed on all four sides, and you don't have to do anything with it. It's, because it's not going to go anywhere. It frays up to a certain point and then it stops. But this fraying happened during stitching. Now,
did it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. Now, Tweezer, my bird, my stitching buddy, so to speak, my stitching pest, when I'm stitching, he wants my attention. And so one of the ways he'll get my attention is he will grab a hold of the corner, a little thread, and he will just start working it. And he'll start pulling it out. And I'll notice this when it's about maybe halfway down to here. And I'll be like, Tweezer, stop! And then he kind of chuckles at me. Mm-hmm. And he waits. He laughs. Yeah, see, this is another little piece that he started. And so this is what he does. He pulls on this, and he just keeps, and this is what I end up with.
Yeah.
So this isn't all my fault. I had help. My
that
little
bird.
Stitching buddy. Yeah. He's so much fun. So what did you have next on your agenda?
Future projects. You were going to talk about future projects.
Oh, yeah. What I have coming up, I'm going to show you on my tablet. So my mom and dad, they moved into a new place for them, and she wants me to do mermaids. She has like mermaids and shells and stuff in her bathroom.
Yeah, her bathroom is
so
all
cute.
nautical. It's really pretty.
Yeah. And so she has this, we got this pattern, the Nouveau Mermaid. So I'm going to do this pattern for her to hang up in her bathroom. Which way am I doing it right? Can you, oh, there we go. Okay, like that. And where did you find this one?
This is, if you scroll down, this is from Fandom Stitchery.
Oh, there we go.
Fandom Cross Stitchery. This is one of their freebies when you sign up. I don't know if you have to sign up for the email list, but it's one of her freebies.
And it's really adorable. She's gonna love it. When I was at Michael's, I was, you know, in the floss aisle because I spend a lot of time in the cross stitch floss aisle. Who doesn't, right?
Right.
And so when I was in the cross stitch floss aisle, I found this blue tulle.
You didn't bring it?
I didn't. Oh, bad girl. I know I should have. It was right next to the other thing too. But it's blue tulle and it has sparkles on it. And it looks pretty. It's got all sparkles on it. I've never cross stitched on tulle before.
When you say sparkles, do you mean it's got glitter on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but the glitter's not woven in because it was coming off on my fingers.
Yeah, it's like sprayed on.
So I don't know after stitching how much glitter's going to be left.
Right.
Where I stitched and where I held it because it's going to come off on my hand.
Yeah, you're going to have to.
I don't know.
Roll it up and protect it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be definitely an experiment. And the other thing about tulle is that it's so thin, it's see-through. And I was looking at it and I was feeling it and I had it like over my hand and I could see the threads going vertically, the threads going horizontally. I could see that it was square. Mm-hmm. And I thought, oh, if it's square, I can stitch on it. You can stitch on anything that's square. Sure. So I thought, oh, I'm gonna stitch on this. And I thought, well, you know, if I double it, then I've got twice as much strength and I'll be able to stitch on it. I just have to make sure that the little squares, you know, they line up. But after you stitch a couple of them, if you start like maybe in the center or on a side or whatever, and you stitch across, they're gonna line up. You just have to be careful.
So I'm guessing, you said you were gonna double it, right?
Right.
Did you mention that yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm gonna double it.
So you're gonna double it, so you're gonna have the fibers lined up, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm imagining, I'm imagining though that you're going to have to use a hoop. You're not going to be able to stitch in hand.
This is a hoop job for sure.
To keep them aligned and to keep them from distorting, right? Mm-hmm. Like the tension on your stitches is going to have to be even because it's tulle. It's delicate. You're going to be able to just, you know,
you can rip it.
You don't want them to like gradually get smaller at the other end. Like that would be.
Yeah, no. Well, tulle though, that was the other thing. I was playing with it. I was feeling it in the store, and the only reason I saw it, they had it on special. You know, it's like, I don't know, 5 yards for $3.
Oh wow!
Okay, it's worth the experiment, and it's the same blue. It's the same blue tulle as this background. Oops. So it's like what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch this part here with the shells and the hair, but this blue background up here, I'm not going to have to stitch. I'm going to leave that plain for the tulle to show through. Okay. The only thing I'm going to have to worry about is I'm going to have to be super neat on the back because it's see-through. You know, the tulle is see-through. So if I carry the thread, you can't carry the thread because you'll see it. So you can only carry the thread behind stitches. You know, so I'll be able to carry the thread behind stitches that are, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? A design area that's solid, but I won't be able to carry thread, you know, between two solid areas. I'll have to work it one way and work it the other. I intend to just use 2 threads so I can do the loop start.
Okay, yeah.
Because I'm lazy.
Well, that'll make it neater too.
And neater in the back. Yeah, it's going to have to be very neat in the back.
Didn't you say you were going to make the brunette a redhead? Yeah,
my mom's a redhead, so I'm going to change, whoops. I think I'm going to, every time I touch this, I screw it up because, you know, I'm touching it. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one of them a redhead. So I don't know, I guess maybe the middle one.
Yeah, the middle.
Maybe I'll just leave her hair a little bit brown and just change the colors and make it a little more red.
Like an auburn.
Yeah, kind of like my hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Mom had the same hair I do until she let it go white. So she got tired of dyeing it.
Sorry, Grandma, sold you out.
Yeah, but I think it's going to look really, really pretty, and I'm really excited to try the tulle. And I've been wanting to try it, but I've been test stitching your new
Shits and Giggles
collection, which I love. Which is why I wanted to
I want them all. I have 3 bathrooms in my house. I love it. I love having 3 bathrooms.
Oh yeah, no waiting.
No, I do. But yeah, I've got space, so.
You got wall space.
Yes, I'm looking forward to hanging those
Oh
in the
yeah.
bathroom.
Yeah, and Mom has some wall space in her bathroom, so the three mermaids are going to look really cool.
Yeah,
so then I'll
pretty.
be starting that shortly, and I will let you know how that works.
Yeah.
I'll bring it and show you the tool and show you,
Looking forward to
the
seeing
work
that.
in progress. I've never stitched on tulle before, and I have to be honest, before I even left the store and decided to, invest a whopping $3 in this tulle.
It's 5 feet, right?
5 yards,
5
I think.
yards.
I think it's 5 yards. I don't know.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I know. There'll be enough for you to make a dance costume out of or something if you want. But, I'm looking at it, I'm going, well, it's only $3. Maybe I'll just buy it. And then I thought, no, I'm going to look it up. So I got on my phone in the store and looked up tulle. Can you embroider on tulle? And you know what?
Of course you can.
People do.
Yeah, they embroider. I haven't seen too much cross stitch on tulle, but I've seen embroidery.
Yeah, I have seen embroidery. And this might end up being more embroidery than cross stitch. There might be sections that I do in satin stitch.
Oh yeah, that would look
sections.
nice.
Yeah, I mean, I know embroidery stitches too, so I don't know. I'm gonna play.
Yeah, can you do like I don't know what it's called, but it's like a satin stitch, but it meets at like different.
Like a brick stitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what they call it, brick.
That might look nice on the
So
mermaid
you've got
tails.
one and then one half here.
Yeah, so it'll kind of look
and then
like
this one
scales.
comes to here. Yeah,
so it's like that.
Oh, like scales.
Yeah.
Oh,
On
no,
the
there's
tails.
a different stitch you do for scales where you do like a loop down here.
Yeah.
And then you do another.
I forget what it's called. I just
Daisy.
saw it too. No, that's not
The
no.
daisy chain stitch.
No, and I just saw it on Sarah Humphrey's channel. Sarah Humphrey is on YouTube.
Yeah.
And she demonstrates a lot of the embroidery stitches.
I'll have to check her out. I'll have to check her out and do a little refresher.
Yeah.
Because it's been a few.
If you want to do like different kinds of embroidery stitches, on like more complicated stuff, Sarah Humphrey is the way to go.
I'll have to check her out.
Yeah.
It's been 2 decades. Literally since I embroidered anything.
Well, you might want to practice a little, maybe on a scrap piece.
That's
of
not tulle?
Yeah. No, I mean on a scrap piece of tulle, just so you can see.
Oh, I've got 5 yards. I'll have plenty of scrap.
And some of those embroidery stitches, you can see it leaves some of the fabric showing, and you're not going to be able to do that with the tulle because you don't want to see behind it.
No, you don't.
Yeah, so you're going to have to practice, I think, with the stitches.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely going to be
Can't wait to see.
an experiment. But I like to experiment. I had never cross-stitched on t-shirts. I had never used perforated paper. At one time I had no idea how to do cross-stitch on linen or hardinger cloth or anything like that. The year before when you came out with the Goddess collection, I cross-stitched.
Kitchen Goddess.
Oh, sorry, yeah, the Kitchen Goddess collection. I cross-stitched every single one of them on kitchen towels.
Towels.
And everybody in my family got a kitchen towel. In fact, I think was that last year? Yeah,
Yes.
I think it was last year.
That was 2020.
That they all got kitchen towels, and I had never stitched on kitchen towels before. But you know what?
It came out.
They're an even weave.
Yeah, it looked good.
If it's an even weave,
you can stitch
on it.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're not limited to whatever you can put on your wall. And that's basically the message I wanted to get across here. Because I see so many people, they're like, oh, I love this pattern, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it. You're not limited to just Ida cloth or Ada cloth, however you want to pronounce it. You're not limited to something you have to put on your wall and frame. Yeah. You're not even limited to framing. You can make things into like the wall hanging with the dowel at the top and the dowel at the bottom. Yeah. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can finish off your work. You can even get
one of those clear cups, and that you decorate yourself and put like a little fabric in there with a small cross stitch project in it.
Yeah, the coffee
mugs.
They
have. You know what I wanted to try? They're expensive though.
What's that?
The biodegradable phone cases that are perforated.
Yes.
I mean, I'm gonna see if I'm gonna find the link.
That's
I'll put the link
like
down
a new
below.
fad with the phone
phone case. Yeah, they're perforated
Yep.
phone case, and but they're like really strong, but they're biodegradable, so they're better for the environment. But they're like $60 a pop or something.
Wow, really?
Yeah, they're a little expensive.
Well, couldn't you just get a plastic phone case and do perforated paper inside it? Because plastic phone cases are like $10.
Maybe. So it depends on how tightly the phone case fits your phone. Some of them are really, really tight.
That is true.
Yeah.
Have to be experiment.
Yeah, you have to. But there's like, and there's perforated leather bracelets, and I see like journals that have the front cover is perforated wood. You could stitch on that. They have those at the store.
I saw somebody had posted. They did a picture of the American flag, and it was on. I don't know if it was perforated wood. I think it was wood.
Wood, yeah.
Yeah, very thin.
Yeah, so you can stitch on anything with even holes, like backpacks. You know, kids are going back to school soon. Wait,
and I've seen a lot of people.
When this video comes out, kids will already be. No, this will be
September's?
August.
Yeah. Kids will just be going back.
Kids will be going back to school, so you could do like a little bit on a backpack. You could do.
Backpacks are
waste
easy.
Canvas
you use waste canvas
or the water soluble canvas.
I didn't bring my hats.
Oh.
I have 2 hats that I did cross stitch on.
Okay, next time.
Because one of them actually has a little bee, my little skep hat.
The bee, yeah.
And then the other one, I just took the cross stitch. I just took the Aida cloth and I shredded the end of it. I just frayed the end of it and then just sewed it to the front of the hat because it's a baseball cap, and baseball caps are difficult.
No,
yeah, because
they have the front is firm.
Yeah, they got a lot of padding in the front,
like
so it was easier to just slap it on the front than try to stitch the front.
Yeah.
But I have stitched on hats. I have stitched hat bands. I have stitched bookmarks. I have stitched pins.
Baby booties. I have stitched baby booties and bibs.
I have stitched hair
ties.
No,
barrette.
Hair barrettes. Yep. That hair barrette that I stitched for you.
Oh yeah, I have it. It's in my jewelry box.
Yep. I've stitched teapot cozies, and oh my God, if you can think of it, you can probably stitch it, or figure out some way to put stitching on it.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why I brought you on board. We can see some different stuff.
Yep.
All right. I guess that's it for now, right?
I'm good. Are you good?
I'm good.
All right.
Thanks for joining us, and stitch on.
Stitch on. Stitch on anything.